My business began as a local healing center in my community, and I was a struggling practitioner, even when I was doing everything right. That's what I want to talk to you about today. So welcome to 12 Days of Spiritual Coaching. If you've missed any of it, put hashtag 12 Days of Spiritual Coaching up to the left in the Facebook search bar, and you can find all the other teachings and trainings that I've had out there for you. It's true. My business started as a local healing center in my community. It was very spirit-led. I felt very nudged, and I stepped out in faith. I was coming out of being a therapist. I had just moved to a new state, and everything was telling me to not continue with the licensed therapist route, and I had no idea what that would look like. But I learned. I was getting into energy medicine. My psychic and mediumship gifts were developing, and I had really strong natural gifts as a coach, although at first I didn't even know the coaching world existed, and I didn't know about it. But I was building this business, serving my community, teaching classes. I got asked to speak, and literally people came to my little blue house, Hope House, my little healing center, and got on my table, and I worked on them, and that was my business. But I started seeing what I was later able to talk to people about as what happens when those people get off your table. Also, I was chasing session and session and session, one-off sessions. And then people said, no, you have to package your sessions. Oh, great. So then instead of one session for X number of dollars, I started bundling my sessions as I was being guided by the other people in my world to offer 5 sessions instead of 1. Now, guess what? I am working more and making less money. And I wondered, how did nobody see this? They're struggling. And this is one of the reasons why the more they work, the less money they'll make, and they'll never get ahead. And about that time, I was asking and I was praying and I was looking, and my first business coach came into my awareness, who was also a strong healer and intuitive, and started teaching me about business, and I came smack up into all my money stuff. So I had to start dealing with my money stuff because I realized the community loved me. They loved what I was doing. It was a bunch of women who found me and showed up, and their husbands were saying, go over to that Hope House. Don't you have a class at Hope House tonight? Because the women were just blossoming and blooming and becoming better partners and wives and mothers and happier. And yet I was creating financial disaster for my family, and I was not thriving. I was not taking care of myself while I took care of everyone else. I have so much in my head. I want to tell you that my words can't get out fast enough right now. I'm running full speed ahead because this is so important. I ended up 18 months later closing the door to that business, but I immediately turned around and Spirit provided, and I got right back in, and now I just celebrated 14 years with my spiritual business. A few years later, I took it online and global, but I had to deal with my money stuff. I had to learn more about my energy and my emotions and about all my spiritual gifts. And I had to learn about business. So much of what was being modeled to me in my local community, these were gifted blessings, gifts from Spirit in their abilities and their gifts and helping other people and their huge hearts. And they were struggling. They were not thriving. And when I built what I thought was my dream, to build a full-time private healing practice on my downtown local historic square, I was exhausted. I had no time for my kids or my husband. I was meeting everyone's needs and everyone's schedules, and I did not see how I could make enough money to make this work. And I wasn't about to, by then, go back to a job. I'm happy to say I have not had a job since 2006. I have also not been without coaches and mentors and teachers. I have not been without a coach at all since 2009. It's that important. So here I was, this struggling practitioner, and then I found the world of coaching, and I ventured over in that world. I was really pulled. I attended some live events. I saw people up on those stages telling me, you have a big mission, you have a big vision, you can have a big life, you can be this, do this, and have this. And they showed up, and I took the best of the coaching world. I hired the coaches, I hired the mentors, I took the courses, I showed up for the live events. I was very coachable. And I brought it back to the healing and intuitive world, and I married and merged the two, and I've been doing that for over a decade now. I call myself the premier coach for spirit workers. I've had my own journey for 14 years with my own spiritual business, but even a much longer journey. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. Besides that, I have now helped so many people. Hello, coachable. It is. It's key. I've had so many clients in the intuitive and healing arts, clients that are psychics, mediums, and healers, but I've also had nurses and lawyers and organic farmers and people opening a healing clinic and people opening a diet center. And I mean, a full range of people being called to serve that are the helpers and the healers. And when you learn to move, to make that shift, and you make that decision, hello, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. When you make that decision to stop being this struggling practitioner, chasing one-offs, bundling for discounts, you will never get ahead. Do the math. I don't know how I couldn't see it at first. And you learn to take the solid coaching principles and marry and merge them with your gifts, skills, and abilities. Spiritual coaching becomes the umbrella. First, spiritual coaching was something I brought in alongside, and I started talking to people about, when your clients are on the table and when they're getting off your table from their session, all the things they now need, sell them that. That's the coaching. And I started teaching my clients how to package and price and promote and speak about this and speak about their business and stop saying, I sell 60 minutes of coaching. I sell 60 minutes of healing. I sell an hour of Reiki. I sell this modality. I sell this process. Do you want your Akashic records read? Do you want a psychic reading? Do you want a mediumship reading? None of that creates a profitable, sustainable business. I know it can be part of it. And then people were so exhausted, and some of them at the same time were saying, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing bigger and more, but how would I do that? I'm supposed to write books and I'm supposed to speak on stages. And that's how I felt. And I got out there and wrote books and spoke on stages and started traveling the world. Then spiritual coaching, I saw it was the umbrella and everything else comes under it. And I love coaching, and I love spiritual coaching above all other kinds of coaching, because there's an element when you bring it into this context and you create what I teach you, what I call the magic container. And it's you, it's your client and spirit, and everything that happens in the container is part of the healing and transformation. It's not a one-off session. It's not minutes for dollars. It changed everything. Not only my business and my well-being and my wealth and my ability to take care of myself and my family and my business, but it was the highest and best way for me to serve the highest and best of my clients. And that's what convinced me. So much so that I have been maxed out for quite a few years now, and especially in the past 2 years. I can't take any more one-to-one clients at a time than I take. I can only take a handful at a time, and I serve them at that private client priority level. But so many people want and need to learn this, and they still get access to me, and they do it in a community, a supportive and empowering community of people that become their friends, their colleagues, collaborators, potential clients, their peers. It's so powerful. And I've always been a part of masterminds and groups as well. So I have dedicated 2022, and I have reframed and restructured my entire business to build my spiritual coach school from a decade of proven work. I've written 2 books. I'm writing my 3rd book. I've built my own business that's been profitable and sustainable for over a decade, and I've helped hundreds of other clients and thousands of other people do this. I've created a vision of the life I want to live, and then created a business that supports and sustains that. I have done this using this model, and now I bring to you Spiritual Coach School. And I was inspired and divinely guided to do this 12 days of spiritual coaching, to share my story, to share my client success stories, to give you bites so you can really let this land and really resonate and understand what this shift can do for you. I invite you right now, if you're wanting to know more or you want to talk to me, to go right now to bethecontribution.com. There's a button you can press so you can talk with me by email, direct messenger on Facebook, or you can talk to me through phone call. I offer some complimentary consultations each month. So we can get on a phone call, direct messenger, and email. And at the same time, tune in. Use the hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching. We're only on day 4. I am feeding you for 8 more days. And if you put that hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching up in the Facebook search bar in the upper left, somebody asked me today how to do it. So I'm being specific. It'll bring up all the other things I've already got out there for you. Here I was. I had never made $50,000 in my business, and I had never made $50,000 in my life. I worked in nonprofits. I got paid through grants and donations and insurance and all of that. And I never valued myself and my work. And when I switched to this model and I understood how to build a personality brand, and how to use the spiritual coaching model, I doubled my income and my impact in less than 12 months, and it has continued to grow ever since. I have built my business primarily organically, which is what I teach you to do. This works. It works all the time for everyone who has come to me. That's how powerful. And when I teach them this, they can turn around and sell it, most of them immediately. The other day, I told one of my mastermind groups that I run, I said, I'm going to tell you right now how to build this thing. And every one of you could sell it today and deliver it tomorrow. And they were kind of skeptical and not sure, or what's very normal. Oh yeah, some people can, but not me. But you can. Most of you can, and others of you either need confidence or you just need to practice and master your craft. I teach you how to do all of this. Too many people get stuck in chasing practice and credentials. I'm always practicing, but I have my practicing set up over here, and I'm selling and working over here. And my business pays for all of it. Do you understand this? Too many people are getting stuck in these places, and then they finally build this job. Basically, they create a job as a struggling practitioner when they could be a thriving spiritual coach, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual healer, a spiritual leader. Spiritual Coach School, bethecontribution.com. Hit the button if you want to talk with me, and I will get back to you quickly so we can talk or take a look. People have been watching these videos and just stepping in because it's pretty comprehensive over there, the information I have laid out for you, and continue to watch these with me. This was such a huge leap for me in 1 year. In less than 12 months, I broke through 50,000. I crossed the six-figure mark. I started speaking on stages. I spoke on a stage in Las Vegas in front of 1,000 people. I had my first book published, and then a few years later, my second book published. All of it. And I made the shift, and I will never be a struggling practitioner again. But I'm still doing all the things I loved as a practitioner. Unless you have created a modality and you have created a licensing, a certifying, and a training program for it, that is going to have you struggling. It's not going to create a sustainable income. And people make so many mistakes jumping on the hot new modality. Y'all, I am certified in 100+ modalities. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am here to inspire and motivate and to inform and educate you and teach and train you in this so you can be your highest and best version of yourself. They get in there and they jump on the hottest new modality or process. Thank you so much. And as I was saying, it gets them nowhere. Only the people that created it and a few of the first adapters. And then they build everything around that and then it crashes. My business is sustainable and profitable and it evolves and grows with me because it is a personality branded business. I will never have to rebuild it. I just keep growing and evolving and people stay with me for years. And when they're ready to buy from me, they buy from me. That's how it works. And that's what I teach you. I give a great example. I was giving it to my group last night, one of my groups that I run. And I said, when you create what I teach you through your social media, when you use that and you have an email list that you build, and you nurture these people, you don't have to keep track of them and you don't have to chase after them. A woman that I know from when my business was local, that local healing center, she showed up in my world last year, 8 years later. She has been commenting, liking, sharing, showing up very regularly and consistently on everything I put out there. And 8 years later, she stepped in as a high-level, long-term private client. I'm doing what I do, and when she's ready, I'm there, and she steps in. I'm getting to just be the spiritual messenger and the spiritual teacher and the coach and healer and leader that I am. And this is what I teach you all. I am so excited to share with you all Spiritual Coach School and my private coaching, whichever one is the best fit for you moving into the new year. I have a few private coaching spaces. We can talk about that. Go to bethecontribution.com, hit the button if you want to talk to me and just take a look. I've really put everything there for you. And you can see everything I have on Facebook, on YouTube, on my website. I have a lot out there for you to consume. I would love to talk with you. I would love to hear from you, where you're stuck, what you're wanting to create. Put in the comments below when you're watching this live or as the replay, what other questions you have for me, and I will answer them. I still have 8 days to show up and do this for you and with you. all of you who already see yourselves moving in the direction, or you have created struggling practitioner and you want to be thriving spiritual coach, let's get that handled now. I can turn that ship or turn that jet plane around now. Do you know that I have people who have come to me consistently over the years that say, I have had my own business 5, 7, 9, 10 years or more, and they are still in struggling practitioner mode. It breaks my heart. It keeps me up at night because they don't have to be. And the thing that they're not selling, that you're not selling, is what people are actually wanting, and they don't know how to ask for it. And as soon as I teach my clients how to get it out there, it sells like that over and over and over again. And once I teach you how to talk about it, how to create it, how to sell it, you will sell it forever. You will have this forever, and you will only have to build it once. I hope you can tell how passionate I am, because in this world with everything we have at our fingertips, yes, I'm so excited to be teaching it to you. Thank you for watching. Everything we have at our fingertips, people are still using this outdated models. And then they're struggling, and they're working jobs they don't love, and then they're trying to do their purpose on nights and weekends. We didn't come to this planet to do our purpose on nights and weekends until we're broke, exhausted, and sick. And the world needs us doing it now, right now. Let that land. Let me be a resource for you. I have opened up Spiritual Coach School. I've got my first founding members, and I am ready to welcome you. You can come in now. It has a group component, it has a teaching and training component, and it has a live component. And if you want more than that, I've opened a few spaces where you come into Spiritual Coach School and you do 6 months of private coaching with me at the same time. BeTheContribution.com. Connect with me. Push the button to talk with me. Take a look. Jump in. Message me if you need to. And let's journey together and move you forward to be the contribution you are here to be, meant to be, made to be, and called to be, and get paid well for it. Thank you so much. Hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.